I have a question, Cyrus.
Oh, God. Because you didn't mention him, Ronnie.
No, legend is you can't operate any electronic device. Here you are in high-speed internet. I mean, is this your own house, your own service?
Great quality of headphones, though.
Oh, the quality of headphones with the budgets we have. I have only one working side. But look, it's all about love for the game, not the technology. So we'll get to that. It's back. We're all so excited. It's back. And of course, I don't mean COVID. That's still going on. Hopefully, it will slowly recede. But in the meantime, Run Order is back. And we are all here with our panel. It's like nostalgia. Of course, they've been meeting and talking behind my back. But I've been out of it. And I'm very happy to come back and see them. Some of the great pundits of our time. Two fabulous cricketers of the past. As well as 1, 2, 3. Well, let's just call them cricket buffs who really know the game but would have loved to play it. Nagraj, sir, you are in London. Far away, right?
Yes,
hiding
sir.
there.
Grey, cloudy London.
That's Nagraj, who's written a lovely article. We'll get into that in a second. And of course, we've got Dustin. Dustin is always looking like Dilip Kumar from the early days for me. Tragic, sad, forlorn. Cricket has restarted a few months back in England as well. And we have Dustin, who is representing cricket from all over, from different countries. And he's going to tell us about, price tags? Dustin?
Yeah, so I thought it was interesting that Pat Cummins in his first game for KKR this season, he went for a lot of runs and it got a lot of attention even though he had just come out of quarantine. People were talking about it because he had the price tag of 15.5 crores. So I thought it might be interesting to discuss how a big price tag could affect a player and affect their performance.
Ajit, a lot of pressure with that tag.
Fortunately, I didn't have the problem. So,
Lion houses in Mumbai say otherwise.
I think I'm sure there's a little bit more pressure attached to it. I from whatever little I've seen in the IPL, sometimes the overseas guys feel it a little bit more. But I don't know whether it directly affects the performance. I think it's up to an individual. There have been instances of Indian players who probably have felt or have been judged because they got paid more money. I don't think it's their fault that they're getting paid more money. It's the franchise who wants it.
Let's take the example of Pawan Negi. Yuvraj Singh, Jaydev Unadkat. Clearly, the price tag affected them. Yuvraj Singh, because it came at the wrong time of his career when he was not at his peak. Had he got it, say, pre-2011, then I think he would have been okay with it. So with Pat Cummins, let's not be too hasty. But he didn't get 15 crores because people think that he's the best T20 bowler in the world. And that's why we're going to pay 15 crores. It's what they call the auction dynamics, which I don't understand at all, but that's the reason.
One point I'd put out here is some of the players that are on the biggest money actually don't even go into the auction, right? An MS Dhoni and a Rohit Sharma are on 15 crore a year. Sunil Narine continues to be on 12.5 crore a year. A KL Rahul is on 11 crore a year. So there is big money attached to the IPL in general. I think it becomes a case of players who've been in the IPL enough that eventually succeed, and then the price tag stops becoming a point of conversation. Whereas players that just come in, a Pat Cummins who's just been back, or a Maxwell who comes in 1 year, isn't there the next, that for me becomes more of a problem. And the other thing is that a domestic Indian player or an uncapped Indian player, the pressures are just another level of Varun Chakravarti and things like that. That I can totally get. I'm sure it would freak a player out.
Are we talking about the fact that after you start playing with the price tag, if things go wrong initially, then the pressure becomes, a lot more because you've got that burden? I think, isn't that the point also?
Yeah, I think that one of the things that players themselves have said is that it does eventually affect them if there's a social media reaction as well. Like, you know the jokes that were being cracked about Cummins, and they've been cracked about people like Unadkat in the past. And as much as the cricketer tries to stay away from that, I guess it is difficult for them.
Player doesn't feel the pressure as far as money goes. But what I find it very interesting is look at Cummins' number. This is not the first time he's gone for more than 1 million. His economy is 8 point something. He has never taken more than 2 wickets or 2 for actually in the IPL. And still, a franchise can value him for more than close to 2 million or something like that, which is bizarre. And that's where the auction dynamic comes in. Overseas fast bowlers, Ajit can weigh in on that, are really extreme quick bowlers are valued highly in IPL right throughout its history. Going back to Unadkat is someone who's a very classical example. Now, I've known this guy for a few years now. I've followed his Ranji career, etc. and he speaks openly to me. And he said the first time he got 11 point whatever crores, at that point he said the burden of money did affect after the season, all right, eventually. Last year when he went, 2 years back when he went for 8.4, he said, I'm going to work my pants off, okay, for the franchise because it's retained me and paid me this money. This year he went for 3 odd crores. He's still, what it is happening with this money is not the money is consciously not playing a role, but mentally it is affecting that they want to perform. As a player, they want to perform. And they feel that if I'm getting paid so much, I really need to create this impact.
You know, it's amazing. IPL just has a different effect on different players. Rahul Dravid told me about one Australian famous cricketer who played under him when he was captain. When the ball was given to him, that guy was actually shaking with the pressure. Of course, this time there's no crowd pressure, but there's something about the IPL, and especially I think because the stakes are so high, and I'm sure they see the owners sort of looking at them with a lot of expectancy. So all that comes into play.
So let's look at a slightly more digestive issue here. Is the pressure too much? Yes or no? Let's just be frank about this. When you have a lot of money on you and you go into bowl or bat for your side, are you feeling that? Is that in the back of your head when you play? You bring it with you?
While playing, you still want to do the best you can, whether you're getting a crore rupees or 15 crore. Whether 15 crores add more pressure while playing, I'm not so sure.
Okay.
Nish Karthik, he actually, after so many experiences of ending up as the most expensive player, he said that, look, the pressure is there. There is pressure from the owners, and it's a subtle pressure it's applied, and he's the captain and he knows that. And there's pressure from outside, the social media, etc. if you start distracting yourself. But at the end of the day, you need to, as a player, understand what you can do and just do that. And that is where I don't think players are managing to consistently perform.
The difference between, say, the IPL and other leagues is that in the IPL, the teams have a choice of releasing a player after just 1 year. So say someone like a Tamal Mills comes in, he knows he's earning a certain amount 1 year, but if he doesn't perform, he can get released, which is different from, say, a footballer who has a fixed contract for 4 years or 5 years.
That key word in sport, in cricket, temperament, comes into play because the price tag affects certain players who are fragile temperamentally. I think Maxwell really falls into that category, whereas somebody like a Shikhar Dhawan, for example, we've seen him for a number of years, or a Rohit Sharma, or a Dhoni, or a Bumrah, it's not going to affect them.
The last thing I'd say, Cyrus, is they should scrap the auction. I think it's a very unfair way of getting players. Keep a draft system or something. It's a more fair, and then negotiate the salary individually, one-on-one, how much you want to pay.
But it's always been part of the mythology of capitalism to shove in people's faces how much athletes are. Like, I remember growing up, the only thing I'd heard about Ravi Shastri is that he won an Audi in the 1985
That's a good point.
And do you remember even for the man of the match checks, I always wondered as a kid, why is the check so big?
Yeah. Why can't you give it in a cover?
Because in those
you have this huge check just to show people that it's this huge amount of money, and that's why the check is so big.
At least it works to a degree in the IPL. You should see some of the other leagues in the world, but they're actually just giving $100 in a big check that day.
Yeah, and those checks were bigger than some of our banks growing up also. That was quite embarrassing. We couldn't take it in at the end of the day. All right, so I think we've agreed to sort of disagree that the pressure may or may not work depending on the individual. It's not like a given that the price tag is going to just train you. The fragility of the person is key. So, Mr. Manjrekar, how much would you have gone for in the IPL, do you think? If you had to
you mean if there was an option for commentary, or if there was
No. Let's stay with cricket. Let's stay with
option for commentary. It's already out there. You know how much I would have gone for.
Okay, I'll turn to the third umpire. Thank you, guys. We'll be back.
Thanks.